Awake, for morning in the bowl of night has flung the stone which puts the stars to flight, and lo, the hunter of the east has caught the Sultan's turret in a noose of light. Dreaming with dawn's left hand in the morning sky, I heard a voice from the tavern cry, "Awake, my little ones, and fill the cup, before life's liquor in its cup be dry." And as the cock crew, those who stood before the tavern shouted, "Throw then open the door, for ye know how little time we have to stay, and once departed may return no more." The new year reviving old desires, the thoughtful soul to solitude retires, where the white hand of Moses on the bough puts out, and Jesus from the ground suspires. Iram indeed is gone with all its rose, and Jamshid's seven-ring cup where no one knows. But still the vine her ancient ruby yields, and still the garden by the water blows. But David's lips are locked, but in divine high-piping Pallavi with wine, 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 red wine the nightingale cries to the rose, that yellow cheek of hers to incarnadine. Come, my love, fill the cup in the fire of spring, and winter's garment of repentance fling, for the bird of time has but a little way to fly, and lo, the bird is on the wing. Whether at Nashapur or Babylon, whether the cup was sweet or bitter run, the wine of life is oozing drop by drop, the leaves of life are falling one by one. But summer brings 1,000 roses, you say. Ah yes, but where leaves the rose of yesterday? That same summer month that brings the rose shall take Jamshid and Kaikabad away. Then come with old Khayyam and leave the lot that Kaikabad and Kaikasru forgot. Let Rustum lay about him as he will, and Hatem tie Christ's supper, heed them not. With me along some strip of herbage strewn, that just divides the desert from the sown, where name of slave and sultan is forgot, and peace is Mahmud on his golden throne. A book of verses underneath the bough, a jug of wine, a loaf of bread, and thou, beside me singing in the wilderness, O wilderness were paradise enow. Some for the glories of this world, and some for the prophet's paradise to come. Ah, take the cash and let the promise go, nor heed the rumble of a distant drum. Were it not folly, spider-like to spin the thread of present life away to win? What, for ourselves? For who know not if we shall breathe out the very breath we now breathe in. Look to the rose that blows about us, lo, laughing she says, into the world I blow. At once the silken tassel of my purse tear, and its treasures on the garden throw. And the worldly hope that men place their hearts upon turns to ashes, or it prospers, and anon, like the snow on the desert's dusty face, lighting a little hour or two, and is gone. And those that husbanded the golden grain, and those that flung it to the wind like rain, alike to no such aureate earth are turned, as buried once, men want dug up again. Think, in this battered caravanserai, whose doorways are alternate night and day, how sultan after sultan with his pomp abode his little hour or two and went away. Some say the lion and the lizard keep the courtyard where Jamshid gloried and drank deep, and Bahram, that mighty hunter, the wild ass stamps o'er his head, but cannot break his sleep. Sometimes I think there never blows so red as the rose o'er which some buried Caesar bled, and the hyacinth that every garden wears dropped in her lap from some once lovely head. And this delicate herb, whose tender green fledges the river's lip on which we lean. Ah, lean upon it lightly, for who knows from what once lovely lip it springs unseen. Come, my beloved, fill the cup that clears today of past regrets and future fears. For tomorrow, why tomorrow I myself may be with yesterday's 7,000 years. And some that we have loved, the loveliest and the best, of time and fate have all their vintage pressed, who drank their cup a round or two before they one by one crept silently to rest. And we that now make merry in the room they left, and summer dresses in new bloom, must we ourselves beneath the couch of earth descend ourselves to make a couch for whom? Make the most of what we've left to spend before we too into the dust descend, dust to dust, and under dust to lie, sans wine, sans song, sans singer, and sans end. Alike for those who for today prepare, and those who after some tomorrow stare, a mizzen in his tower of darkness cries, fools, your reward is neither here nor there. Of all the saints and sages who've discussed, of the two worlds so learnedly are thrust, like foolish prophets forth their works to scorn are scattered, and their mouths are stopped with dust. Come with old Khayyam and leave the wise. One thing is for certain, life flies. One thing is for certain, and the rest is lies. The flower that once has bloomed forever dies. Myself, when young, did eagerly frequent doctor and saint, and heard great argument about it and about, and evermore came out the same door as in I went. With them the seeds of wisdom did I sow, and with my own hands nurtured it to grow. And this was all the harvest that I reaped. I came like water, and like the wind I go into this universe, and why, not knowing, nor whence, like water willy-nilly flowing, and out of it as the wind along the waste, I know not whither, willy-nilly blowing. Up from earth's center, and through the seventh gate, I rose, and on the seat of Saturn sate. And many a knot untangled on the road, but not the master's knot of human fate. There was the door to which I could find no key. There was the veil through which I could not see. Some little talk a while of thee and me there was, and then no more of me and thee. And then to the rolling heaven itself I cried, what lamp has destiny to guide her little children stumbling in the dark? And a blind understanding, heaven replied. And then, to the lip of this poor earthen urn I leaned, the secret well of life to learn. And lip to lip it murmured, while you live, drink, for once dead, you shall never return. I think this vessel that with fugitive articulation answered, once did live, and merry make. The cold lip I kissed, how many kisses might it take and give? For in the marketplace on one dusk of day, I watched a potter thumping on his wet clay, and with its all obliterated tongue it murmured, gently, brother, gently pray. Has not such a story as from old, down man's successive generations rolled, of such a lump of saturated earth, cast by the Maker into human mold? Come, my love, what boots it to repeat how life is slipping underneath our feet? Unborn tomorrow and dead yesterday, why fret about them if today be sweet? A moment's halt, a momentary taste of being from the well amidst the waste. And lo, the phantom caravan has reached the nothing it set out from. Oh, make haste. Oh, plagued no more by human nor divine, tomorrow's tangle to itself resign, and lose your fingers in the tresses of the cypress-slender minister of wine. Waste not your hours nor in vain pursuits of this or that endeavor or dispute. Better to be merry with the fruitful grape, sadden with none or bitter fruit. Oh, my friends, with what a brave carouse! I took a second marriage in my house, divorced old barren reason from my bed, and took the daughter of the vine to spouse. And lately, with the tavern door agape, came stealing at the dusk an angel's shape, bearing a vessel on his shoulder, and he bid me taste of it. 'Twas the grape that with logic absolute the 72 jarring sects confute, the subtle alchemist that in his trice life's leaden metal into gold transmute. Be this juice not the growth of God, who dare blaspheme the twisted tendril as a snare? 'Tis a blessing, we should use it, should we not? And if a curse, why then, who set it there? Leave the wise to wrangle, and with me the quarrel of the universe let be, and in some corner of the hubbub couched, make game of that which makes as much of thee. For in and out, above and below, 'tis nothing but a magic shadow show, played in a box whose candle is the sun, round which we phantom figures come and go.